final arrow shot. They're going to move down to the bale, and Bruce Cole will head to the bales with officials for scoring.
Yeah, Paige unofficially is your national champion. Kendall Woody missed one. Bitten Christensen missed one. So we have Scott Starnes has a really close one down there. Potentially Keith Trail may be your national pro male champion, but
already,
yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
And it can happen this quickly at the NFAA Indoor Nationals, even before inside-out scoring.
Yeah.
You're talking about archers that literally have missed 1x out of 120 shots all weekend.
Put them on the, you put them on the big stage. Spotlights on them, things change. I don't, switching arrows is, I don't know. I mean,
it's a toughie.
It's always a tough question in the back of everybody's head. Should I do it? But Keith Trail's down there, high-fiving, shaking hands. I think, from what I could tell, even looking at the arrows unofficially, he's definitely, definitely your champion.
Yeah,
that was surprisingly fast.
Yeah, that was 22 for Cara Kelly is the call. Yeah. So that's 3 misses. So here we go for Paige. If she scores higher than a 22, she is our national champion for the female professional division.
And Paige won USA Archery Nationals on Friday.
And there it is. Paige Pierce is now declared the national champion. So she wins on Friday, wins a national champion at the USA Archery Indoor Nationals, and is able to parlay that into a national victory here, the NFAA Indoor Nats.
She had about with contingency and her payout, she had about a $36,000 weekend.
It's pretty good.
That's really good. And her boyfriend Tate is in the shoot-off later.
Mm-hmm. This is for 3rd place, the final spot on the podium between Dusty Batch and Tanya Jensen.
If you look at the screen, look at Tanya's target. I mean, they are solid. All inside out, it looked like. It just really, really solid. She's dialed in.
Dusty with a huge smile on her face. To move on, Tanya needs the match. 25 for Tanya, so we're going to shoot. We're going to go to inside-out scoring.
Yep. And Dusty didn't switch arrows?
No, she didn't.
So
she didn't because that bow
the bow wasn't working.
The bow wasn't working, so she decided to stick with those big 27s.
Yeah.
Congratulations from Tanya to both the shooters, 1st and 2nd place. So Cara Kelly will also.
I know that's not how Cara wanted to end the weekend, but I mean 2nd place, that's pretty awesome.
So for Benton Christensen, 24 points called. They might actually have to shoot off for 2nd place or 3rd place, no? Let's see the scores, and then we can. You can see the Kendall's bottom right target. 24.
Yeah. So we're going to have a shoot off for 2nd place. And Scott shot a 24 also, I believe. Keith Trail didn't switch. He shot big arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Killed it.
He told me before this one he was just going to stick with what got him here.
That's a pretty solid game plan.
24.
And that's it.
And if you see there, look at the target. Keith Trail dialed in perfectly. That's really surprising, though. I mean,
this group of archers you're looking at, really a tight-knit group of people. They all like each other. They all have a lot of fun when they're shooting and congratulate each other. It's a very interesting environment when you're at
Pro Senior winner,
so Keith Trail is now confirmed as your Pro Senior winner. And another win for Martin Archery. So congratulations to Keith Trail out of West Virginia. The shop owner will now take that $3,000 purse money plus his contingency on the weekend and another title to his long resume. So we still have more shooting to be done with this group of archers. We're going to be shooting off for 2nd and 3rd place for the pro senior male, as well as 3rd place for the women. As you can see, Paige Pierce taking her target down. So Dusty Batch and Tanya Jensen. Now we go to inside-out scoring. Describe for us what that means, Aaron Tedford.
Well, now your arrows have to be inside the X and can't touch the line. Tanya has a huge advantage here.
Yeah, Tanya choosing to shoot the smaller arrows, where Dusty had to stick with those 27s. There's a big hug from the boyfriend. And a smoocherooski, we call that.
Okay.
Yeah.
On camera.
On camera smoocherooski. If you're just joining us here at the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals, we're coming at you from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, as we are looking at our 2nd round of scoring ends, where we're going to switch to inside-out scoring. 3rd place is on the line for the pro women. It's going to be Dusty Batch and Tanya Jensen.
For the spectators, that means the complete arrow shaft has to be inside the X ring. If it touches, it goes to the lower score. Good luck.
And for the pro seniors, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Tanya's inside, and Dusty's touching the line, so Tanya's 1 point up already on Dusty.
What do you see? What are you seeing for that Starnes arrow right now?
It's inside out. Dusty just had a really good inside out X. Let's see if Tanya can answer that with an inside out. We have 4 minutes to shoot 5 arrows, so lots of time. Scott Starnes has 2 inside.
You can see Dusty let down on that one. She was holding for an awfully long time. And just like Aaron mentioned, with that 4 minutes, it gives you plenty of opportunity to reset yourself, take a deep breath. Tanya Jensen also lets down, where you can really see that pressure when you're trying to put it inside out.
That's her 2nd letdown on this arrow, so.
Looks like Dusty might have a touch in the top line.
Nope, it's inside.
Okay.
Benton just missed the whole X, but it doesn't matter. If it's not inside, it scores a 4.
Yeah.
So.
Looks like Dusty's 4th arrow might have caught that line.
Kendall Woody has 3 perfectly inside.
We have a minute 49 or I'm sorry. Yeah, is that 145 seconds remaining on the clock? How long is that clock all weekend? It's seconds, right?
Yeah. So Tanya has 2 inside out. And Dusty has 3, maybe 4 inside out. She's got a couple really close ones, but really solid target. Benton's got 3 inside out so far.
Now Scott Starnes switched to the Carbon Express Maxima Blue Streaks. Not the smallest micro arrow made, but Scott felt that mentally he looks at, after shooting 27s for 2 months and punching a big hole in the paper, that it would be a better mental switch to go to that arrow. It's smaller, but not the smallest.
Kendall shoots 5 inside out, so he's going to take 2nd place, I believe.
So if that's the case, as Aaron's calling it, then 3rd place still up for grabs between Starnes and Christensen.
Tanya has 4 inside out so far. If she shoots this one inside out, she's looking at 3rd place.
71 seconds on the clock, plenty of time.
Yep, she shot 5 beautiful inside out X's. So she's going to take 3rd place. Dusty's going to end up 4th place.
For you young archers watching, it just shows that managing the clock is part of it. If you don't feel like you have the shot, go ahead and let down. Easier said than done, though, right, Aaron?
Oh, yeah.
Starnes punches that one in. So now we go to the bales for some scores.
Scott's got a couple close ones, but I think one of them's going to touch. Kendall, there's no question. It looks like he's got 5 inside out. Tanya has the best target out of all of them up there.
Not surprising.
No, not surprising at all. She's from Copenhagen, Denmark. Her boyfriend, Braden Galantine, back there, rooting her on. Braden shot a 60 yesterday, 59 today.
Always a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Dusty Batch, young archer out of Illinois, just getting tremendous amounts of experience, has really come on strong.
Yeah. She had a really good run at Lancaster.
Absolutely. So it's a name that a lot of people are talking about because she is one of our rising stars in archery.
I think Scott Starnes works with her quite a bit.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they were happy to have her with them down at Lancaster.
Yeah.
When they drove over from Illinois, Indiana area. You notice Tanya there was just taking a look through her binos, even though she's just a couple feet away.
Yeah.
We do that a lot, don't we?
Oh,
Just to
yeah.
see just what other people have shot. Gives you
Double,
a nice
triple check.
I did.
You know, just
Batch 24.
24.
That's a close one.
Yep.
You see the judges were taking such a long look at it. It's great shooting, even with those 27 arrows.
Yeah, to put 4 of them inside out and that other one is barely touching, that's really solid for that
And
kind of
Jensen,
pressure.
25 and 3rd place.
There it is.
Congratulations, Tanya Jensen. Will be on the final spot on the rostrum. Great shooting by Dusty Batch. We're going to see a lot more of her.
I believe so.
And then, yeah, and then
She's pretty solid.
Yep. Now on to the professional senior male category. 4 second, 3rd, and 4th place to be decided.
Christensen, 23.
Benton Christensen with a 23.
He's won this event before. I know he's not happy with that.
Now look at Kendall Woody.
Look how solid that target is. And he's got big arrows. Those must be 23 size, 27. I'm not sure, but you can tell they're big aluminums. And you can see these guys mounting 25.
Woody, 25.
Nice. So we got a 1st place Martin shooter. 2nd place going to be a Martin shooter.
Now to Scott Starnes. A 24.
A 24 will land him in 3rd place.
Yep,
Because
sure will.
Benton shot a what, 23?
23,
Yeah.
you got it.
And he's definitely got it. I don't know. He's got a lot of close ones.
That's a close one.
Yeah.
If they determine this is a 23, then we're going to shoot one more end, another
Yeah.
inside out end for 3rd place for professional senior male. Again, this group of shooters, all really friendly, pretty tight, and they have a good time with each other. Not a hugely packed field of archers.
No. They are good friends, like to have a good time with each other, but when it comes down to it, they're extremely competitive too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, judges taking a long, long look at Starnes' target.
Do you think Scott's screaming inside right now?
I don't know. The dragon's pretty mellow.
He's pretty calm.
Yeah.
He's been up here countless times in the pro male division, pro senior division.
Hey, how about Scott's use of
And give a hand to Kendall Woody, 2nd place. And Christensen and Stars will shoot off again.
Oh,
So
they
there
are?
it is. They called it a 23.
23 for Starnes?
And Starnes was a 23.
So I was going to say his pins there. Like the way that Scott, a little different.
Yeah, I know.
Why
he does
not?
a lot of things different, but hey, looks like it's working pretty good.
Exactly. All right, so Tanya Jensen will be 3rd place. Dusty Batch in 4th, as we have Paige Pierce, the national champ for the professional female division. Cara Kelly in 2nd. We also have Keith Trail in first as they get a photo opportunity. Kendall Woody's going to be your second place finisher. So now we've got to decide the final spot on the podium for the professional senior male division. If you're just joining us, I'm Greg White, sitting next to me, Aaron Tedford, who has finished on the podium here back in 2017 at the NFAA Indoor Nationals in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our 5 spot, blue face, we call that, blue face target. And if you're wondering if you've ever shot, maybe you've never shot a blue face before, but you've shot a Vegas face. What about the rings, the size of the rings? They the same, they different?
They're the same, just different color. And there's no baby X inside the NFAA X. So real similar, you shoot 5 arrows, you know, a round is 60 arrows. So it's a really long-winded
It is.
round.
Somewhere around 2.5 hours.
Yeah, closer to
round.
3 hours.
Yeah, closer to
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have
2
4
lines.
minutes, when you have 4 minutes,
Yeah.
oh man.
4 minutes, 2 lines, scoring, but it's still a lot of fun. And Cincinnati has played host to this event for the last 3 years, and they've been a great host. As for 2020 to 2022, this event moves to Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
That's
Louisville's
right.
a great place.
It's a great place, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. All right, here we go. First arrow.
Inside out scoring still. Benton shoots one inside out. Solid. Scott Starnes shoots one on the cross. Couldn't place that arrow in there any better. So they're tied up still.
That's where Scott's hoping to put him the whole time.
None of these guys want to take 4th place. It's a huge money difference. Dead center for Benton. Dead center for Scott. We might be here a while.
We might. Keep in mind, to get him to this point, 119 X's out of 120 shot in competition. When we got here at the beginning of this broadcast, there was a 4-shooter tie for first place. Keith Trail taking it.
So Scott has a close one in his middle target.
Yeah.
Benton puts one just dead center. So I think Scott's is touching, but we'll see. It's very close.
Aaron, what about the different ways they're shooting this target? You can see that Scott's kind of starting top, going to middle.
Yeah,
Benton
Scott
goes
goes
bottom.
Scott draws a Z on his target, from what I can tell. Yep, that's what he does. Benton, not really sure. Oh, he shoots the middle target last. Okay. Benton has 4, no question, inside out. Scott has 3, no question, inside out. He's 1, and they don't change targets surprisingly in this. Where Scott's middle arrow is, it's a little shot up right there. This can be up to the judges. Oh, Benton missed that one. He missed the whole X. So Benton shoots a 24. Scott Starnes needs to put this one in there to stand a chance.
Yeah, to at least keep it going.
To at least keep it going, yeah. Oh, unless his middle one is there, then.
Then he outright wins 3rd place.
Right. And that one's really close, but it's touching the line, so.
So it's really that middle arrow that's going to determine it.
Yeah, it comes down to that middle arrow on Scott's target.
So even though Benton Christensen sent that one out right on the low side.
Yep. Benton's playing the game here. He knows the score. He doesn't care. It's dead center, or looks like when his shot's falling apart, it's falling apart.
To our judges, the 3 judges will have a look. Oftentimes when you're, as you've been, experienced shooter on the line right now, you call arrows all the time.
Yeah.
You already kind of know, don't you, when you're waiting for this call?
Well, yeah. And
Maybe not on this one, but
Christensen, 24.
when you have 3 judges too, the right call is going to be made. So he didn't take much time to look at that, so it must be pretty obvious. Yeah, they're not taking a lot of time to look at that middle arrow, so it's either, I think it's obviously touching, probably.
And Starnes, 24.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
So he did get that bottom right one.
Yep. We're going to another end. You mentioned it, though. Could be here for a while.
Yeah. Taking 4th place here is kind of a nightmare for these guys. So they're going to fight pretty hard to the end, I can imagine.
And by the way, you called it. They're going to change targets out.
Yeah.
So they get a nice... What does your scope setup look like? I mean, when you have your lens in there and you're looking down at the target, are you seeing any holes in the paper, or do you have something that blocks your field of view a little bit?
Well, I was shooting my 3D setup, so I have an up pin.
Okay.
And it's a really small pin, so I can see all the holes. But I know a lot of these guys are shooting a big dot, so they're not seeing holes. They're just, most likely there's a white ring around their dot.
Yeah, so when we change these
Depends
targets,
the size of it, though.
yeah, it's really up to the judge's discretion to say, look, the lines are getting blurred here. We can't tell, so just go ahead and put a fresh face on.
These guys are experienced enough that they don't care what their targets look like. They're gonna put in there if it's nice black hole or fresh. It doesn't matter. These guys are up here for a reason.
So these 2 senior pros just told me that you 21 guys sitting back here waiting should really watch what they're doing, because they're putting on a show, they said. And they want you to really pay attention how to do it.
A lot of the shooters that are coming up are sitting right in the front row. Off the left, Caleb Sorrells, you can see. There's a Jacob Marlowe. There's a Paul Tedford in the crowd.
Well, and then all the other shooters are over here sitting watching. This is what we have to look forward to when we turn 50, right?
I wish.
Benton puts one in perfect, no question. Scott has a close one. I think it's touching the line. So Benton shoots a 5. Scott shoots a 4. Benton shooting the Carter like Mike caliper release. Benton shoots one perfectly inside. Scott, no question, missed that one.
No question, missed it.
Yeah, so Benton has 10 points so far. Scott potentially has 8, definitely 9. Benton is solid, puts that one in there too, no question. Scott puts that one in there, no question. So if Benton wants to close this thing out, he needs these 2, but he definitely needs one of them. Solid inside. So all Benton needs is to hit the white, and he will for sure move on, depending on where Scott's first 2 arrows are, and depending on how he shoots this last one, these last 2. So there's no pressure here for Benton on this last arrow. Scott puts it right in there. Benton just closed it out. Benton takes 3rd place.
Big sigh of relief for Benton Christensen.
Scott looks down there, I'm sure he knows.
Well, they are over 50, so maybe you can't see it that well with the small arrows. I know, I'd have to glass it.
I don't know, maybe Benton's talking up to him on the line, talking smack while he's at full draw. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Oh, Scott finishes off with a really good arrow inside out. But Benton Christensen shoots a 25. 5 arrows inside out of the X-ring. Solid.
Benton Christensen still with deep breaths after the nerves of that performance.
Benton won this in, I can't remember what year, just not too long ago, a few years ago. Benton won.
Yeah, that's when you know. Scott knows, Benton knows, especially when you get that close to the bail.
Scott made a really good run. Really good run. 119 X's for the weekend. Made it this far in the shoot down. Ends up 4th place. I don't think you can complain about that.
25.
Officially 25 for Benton Christensen. And Scott knows 3rd place We'll go to Christensen from Idaho.
Preston, Idaho, just a small little town.
Been there?
Yeah.
Scott Sarnes, 23 in 4th place. Give a big round of applause to Benton Christensen, 3rd.
So Scott did miss his first 2 arrows, 23.
So that'll decide the podium for our professional senior male category. Keith Trail is going to be your national champion. Kendall Woody will be in 2nd spot, and Benton Christensen in 3rd.
How about Paige closing it out the first end? That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's really good. Especially because she had no expectations coming in. She's just started school, Paige Pierce, and she hasn't been able to shoot a whole lot and thought fatigue would be a factor coming in here, and just focused on the USA Archery stuff that happened on Friday. So I think for Paige, this was really a big surprise and just a huge get in terms of adding to your resume.
Yeah, to win 2 national championships in 1 weekend is always looks pretty good on paper.
Yeah, we call that not a bad weekend.
There's Scott Starnes giving luck to all the guys coming up here to shoot.
We're just going to do a quick little interview with a new champion. Paige Pierce, come on up here. Paige, how many times have you won this?
This is my first time.
And what do you think?
It's pretty awesome.
And?
Yeah, I've won 3 of the other NFAAs, so I was trying to get an indoor, so I finally got one, so got one left.
And this has been a challenge for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, indoor has definitely not been my strong game, so it's been nice to make some progress.
And what's left?
Vegas.
Okay. Give a big round of applause, Paige Pierce.
Pretty good, isn't it?
And as we continue the shoot-offs here for the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals, this is the professional male shoot-off. All of these archers, all 21 of them, have shot a perfect 600 with 120 X's. Starting off first, on target 101, Dustin Bounce from Canal Fulton, Ohio, shooting for Matthews. This is Dustin's first shoot-off. Also on target 101, Jacob Marlowe from Ebro, Florida, shooting for Elite. Jacob is the 2018 defending champion, and he got like 30th in Vegas that year, so it was pretty solid. Starting on target 102, Justin Martin from Loughtonville, Ohio, shooting for Matthews. This is Justin's first indoor national tournament and his first shoot-off. The Freak Show, Jesse Broadwater from Ellenton, Florida, shooting for Matthews. Starting on target 103, Travis Tracy from Irwin, Ohio, shooting for Prime. Travis is a rookie pro, and this is his first shoot-off. Also starting on target 103, Paul Tedford from Great Falls, Montana, shooting for Hoyt. A prior Reading outdoor trail shoot winner. Starting on target 104, Rich Jackson from Shikshini, Pennsylvania, shooting for Matthews. Also shooting on target 104, Tate Morgan from Billings, Montana, shooting for Hoyt. Starting on target 105, it is Colton Hamilton from Ephraim, Utah, shooting for Prime. This is his first shoot-off. Starting on target 105, Bags Bridget Eden from Otley, Iowa, shooting from Matthews. He's been in this shoot-off 4th time. Starting on target 106, from Voorheesville, New York, Jacob Slusarz, shooting for Darton. Also starting on target 106, Jace Bowles from Albany, Kentucky, shooting for Elite. This is his first indoor nationals and his first shoot-off as a rookie pro. Starting on target 107, from Martinsville, Indiana, Caleb Sorrells, shooting for Matthews. This is Caleb's first shoot-off. Also on target 107, Richard Bowen from Rogers, Arkansas, shooting for Matthews. This is his 3rd shoot-off in a row, took 2nd place last year, and he's a 2-time Vegas shoot-off participant. Starting on target 108, Stefan Hansen from Denmark, shooting for PSE. He won the Indoor National Championship in 2016. Also starting on target 108, Dan McCarthy from Wisconsin, shooting for Matthews, a 2-time winner of the Reading Trail Shoot. Starting on target 109, Christopher Perkins from Ontario, Canada, shooting for Matthews. He's your 2018 field champion and your 2018 NFAA Shooter of the Year and 2018 Vegas champion. Also starting on target 109, 5150 Shane Wills from Cumberland, Maryland, shooting for Martin. He's won this event as an amateur in 2003 and your Reading 2009 champion. Starting on target 110, Chris Schnurr from Oxford, Michigan, shooting for PSE. This is his first shoot-off. Also starting on target 110 from Cairo, Georgia, Carson Sapp, shooting for Hoyt. He's won this event as a young adult male in 2016, and this is his first pro shoot-off. And your final participant for the shoot-off this evening, Mr. Perfect Mike Schlosser from the Netherlands, shooting for Hoyt. He's won this event in 2015 as a pro male freestyle and won Vegas 2 times.
Well, welcome to the big time. I'm Greg White, joined by Aaron Tedford, as the stage has been set for the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals here at the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, as we are looking at 21 shooters for the professional male division. Where do you start with stories, Aaron Tedford? I mean, you're talking about a host of first-timers facing off against a gaggle of multi-timers in this event.
Yeah, so there's 3 archers up there, only 3, who have won this event before. Jacob Marlowe, Stefan Hansen, Mike Schlosser. A lot of them have been up here before. Richard Bowen's been up here. They said 3. This is his 3rd year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Perkins has never won this event. Chris is coming into this. I know he's got a lot of pressure on him. His grandpa died on Thursday, and he's shooting for him. And so I know this event would mean a lot to him if he could win that. So he's looking to win it, especially hard. Jesse Broadwater's taken 2nd at this event several times. He's never won it, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But he didn't switch to small arrows. I noticed lots of guys didn't switch to small arrows. So we'll see. The last 2 years in a row, people have won with really small diameter arrows. So
good luck.
First official end of practice. In speaking with Jesse Broadwater, Aaron, you brought it up, he's sticking with his 23 diameter arrows from Easton, and the reason is because he shot at the USA Archery Indoor Nationals on Friday, wanted to just stick, didn't want to change anything, shot those 23s all the way through the last 2 days, and he decided to stick with those.
That's a pretty good game plan. I mean, the 23 yards a little bit smaller than the 27, so I could see that.
Now, for those that are just joining us, Aaron, let's talk about the arrow strategy. They might be just joining us, but a lot of competitors shooting a 27 diameter, which really means what? It's like 0.4.
27, 64 7-inch.
Hey, there you go. So a lot of shooters deciding to use that. It's something that's, you know, unique here in the States. Obviously, NFAA allowed to use that. A lot of places over in Europe, they're going to shoot the 23 diameter arrows, which are more in line with World Archery and USA Archery. But here in this competition, all of a sudden now, when we get to these finals, we're talking about different types of arrows that people are shooting all of a sudden. Why and what are they using?
So the reason everybody comes here with 27s is because you want to catch lines. You know, you want the biggest arrow that you can get, so you can make essentially the sloppiest shot possible and still catch a line. Nobody wants to make a sloppy shot, but it happens. The disadvantage of a 27 in this shoot-off is after the first in, it goes to inside out. And obviously, the smaller arrows have a huge advantage when it comes to that. But also, a huge advantage is sticking to with what you have because you know how it shoots. You're comfortable with it. You know, a lot of guys, you know, these bows are going to react a lot different with smaller arrows, stuff they didn't shoot all weekend. And I know some of these guys will come off the line and tell you, I should have never switched. I guarantee it. So
not this guy on the right, though. Stefan Hansen, he was really the first shooter I can remember in, you know, I haven't been doing this all 39 years, but I remember back in, he won it in 2016.
Yeah, first shooter to win it with small arrows.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of started this trend of, hey, wait, this is possible.
Yeah.
It's possible to win it. So blame it all on Hansen.
Yeah, he got second in 2017 when Steve Anderson won. And Steve Anderson was shooting the small arrows. And 2018, Jacob Marlowe was shooting a smaller arrow. So, past 3 years in a row, small arrows have won.
First official and only official end of practice is concluded. Archers will walk 20 yards downrange, as that's the distance between the shooting line and the target butt faces. They will pull their arrows, and now we're going to start our first official scoring end, which will be what we call normal scoring, which means that it doesn't matter where you touch the X line.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, the circumference of the shaft could just barely be touching it on the outside. It's still counted as a 5, as an X.
My guess, 2 guys will be out after the first end.
Two guys.
Yep.
All right. 21 shooters in the field. I tell you, a variety of ages, a variety of occupations, some full-time, one of our archers owns an HVAC company. Another one of our archers,
Richard Bowen's a wildlife biologist.
Yep. Exactly. So a couple of students.
Yep. Paul Tedford shoots full-time. Jesse Broadwater shoots full-time for a living. Bridget Eden, he works for Shields.
In the shop.
Tate Morgan works for his dad.
Yep.
And an archery shop.
Looks like a pass-through.
Yeah, they're going to have to change that bail.
Yeah. So
we're going to have a few minutes of them changing the bail, most likely.
Carson Sapp, who is one of our last archers to be introduced. He's a freshman, and he goes to college in Yankton, and he's part of the, he's a student athlete archer in Yankton, South Dakota, which is where the NFAA is based.
As a young adult, he shot a 900 in Vegas a few years ago.
Sure did.
Yep.
Yep. Bruce Call just asked him to show of hands of how many it's their first shoot-off. How many was that? 6?
8.
8.
Yep. Christopher Schnurr, Carson Sapp, a couple of these other guys.
people. Awesome. Who's been in more than 10 national indoor shoot-offs? Wait, higher? Yeah, look how tough it is. Give them a big round of applause again.
Yeah, when Bruce just asked that, I think Jesse Broadwater kind of put his hand half up.
Okay, this will be your first official scoring end. Once again, the X counts as 5, and it's regular scoring. Needs to touch the X ring.
You heard Bruce call it.
Yep.
5 arrows, 20 yards downrange. All the pressure on. Paul Tedford taking his time. Deep breath. Of course, if you don't know, Aaron Tedford sitting next to me in the commentary booth. Brother to Paul Tedford. So I'm not going to say you don't have a favorite in this one.
I just hope, let's say I hope a lefty wins. Oh, he's the only lefty up there. Okay. Can you guess? Well, obviously you can. Paul in 2003 shot 120 X's here in the young adult division, and it was the first ever 120 in the young adult division back in 03 when it was in Louisville.
No kidding.
Yeah.
16 years ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, didn't you used to be a compound finger shooter?
Yeah, that same year I shot a 59X with fingers and at 20 yards. But Paul was shooting in that class. He shot 120 X's, and on the last day, in between ends, he was so nervous. They had a garbage can right behind him, and he was puking in the garbage can. In between ends. It was insane. He was shooting a Martin Scepter. Shot 120 X's.
It's hard to deny talent, isn't it?
Yeah. Tate Morgan from Montana. Paul's from Montana. Ohio. There's 3 shooters from Ohio up there.
Yep. You got to look a moment ago at Rich Jackson. He's shooting that TRX 38. And he is the one who owns the HVAC company, works for himself. And Rich Jackson, who's in this mix, gets to shoot twice a week. That's it.
Wow.
Yep. Extremely talented. He told me that he was possibly going to switch to the X10s. Caleb Sorrells works for Shrewd Archery, full-time in Salem, Virginia. Smile on Caleb's face, left part of your screen, as Richard Bowen has a peek at his target. There's one of our first-timers.
Christopher Schnurr.
Mm-hmm. Schmerin Archery Tech at Beyond the Years, shooting that PSE Super Focus. It's his 3rd year as a pro and first pro shoot down for the Archer at full draw at the moment. So he sends it down range. And now we're going to have 21 targets to score. This may take a moment. You see Bridget Eden, left part of your screen. He actually made it this far in his shooting. A 5-year-old Matthew C4.
Bridger's out.
He's out.
Yeah. Should have had a current bow. Richard Jackson's also out.
You can actually still get that bow through Matthews, from what I
You
understand.
can?
Yeah,
Oh,
you still
okay.
can.
Look
yeah.
at me. Sorry, Bridger, if you hear this later.
But hey, he shot 120X, so it shows you that 5-year-old equipment can still pound.
Yeah. Ish.
Dustin Bounce from Ohio. 25 points for him.
I was talking to Paul and Stefan before this. They said they were going to bring down chairs with them and sit down because this takes so long. And they were begging to Bruce, let's speed this up, let's speed this up. Bruce is like, there's too much money on the line and too prestigious of a title to speed this up. So this is a smart way to do it. Just make sure everybody stands, you know, a fair chance at what their arrows are going to score here. Boy, look at Jesse's arrows, just solid.
Mm-hmm. They're looking at Justin Martin out of Ohio.
Martin, 25.
A little sigh of relief for Justin Martin. And then there's this guy, Jesse Broadwater. Always coming in with a solid strategy. I don't know.
Broadwater, 25.
Oh, he made it.
Oh, phew.
By the way, Jesse's never won this tournament, and this would be a big deal for him.
Oh, I know he wants this one bad. I think he's taken second 3 or 4 times.
I think that's why he was hesitant to put his arm up when he asked him how many. Has anybody been over 10 times? Just because this is one that's eluded him so far.
I don't think he was kidding, though. I think he's been up here that many times.
Tracy, 25.
Tracy moves on. Travis Tracy. 3 shooters from Ohio making it into the mix.
Yep.
Tedford, 25.
Tedford advances. Has to be one of the favorites. Looks like we're moving on to Rich Jackson.
Some of these guys came here and their goal was to make the shoot down and are happy making the shoot down. And you're going to see a lot of those guys go out first.
Yeah.
The other guys.
And Jackson, 24. Give him a big round of applause. He's been eliminated.
So his first one.
Yeah. These other guys who are up here, they didn't come here to shoot 120 X's and be happy and hope to get lucky. They came here to win. And I know this is just part of the tournament for a lot of these guys, as far as none of them are settling and none of them are happy just because they made it this far. I mean, so far Richard is
Morgan, 25.
20th, so he's at 21st place. Richard Jackson.
Yep.
That's a tough pill to swallow when you've shot 120 X's.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. His first one too. Rich, his first shoot off here, but he'll be back.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Hamilton,
to get back,
25.
So Hamilton moves on. Colton Hamilton out of Pennsylvania.
He's out of Pennsylvania, just recently moved to Pennsylvania. He's from Salt Lake City. Yeah. They call him the Butcher.
The Butcher.
He is a butcher. That's his day job.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's not like he's mowing people down on the range.
It's a pretty
like
cool nickname.
It is
though.
a good,
The
yeah,
Butcher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now Bridget Eden, who looks like, well, Aaron definitely said that he thinks he's got a 24. Left part of your screen is the scores. You can see that Bounce, Marlow, Martin, Broadwater, Tracy are in. If you're watching us on one of those small screens, we'll keep you updated. This will be a heartbreaker for Bridget Eden.
And Deaton, give him a big round of applause. He's out with a 24.
24.
So the fame tale for the Matthew C4 stops here at the first end.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's good to see Bridger back on form.
Yeah, he hasn't made a lot of shoot downs lately, and I know he's been, he's been working really hard at it in his shooting too. So I'm happy for him. 120 X's, I mean, that's solid.
Yeah, Bridger was a former staple on the USA Archery national team.
Slusarz, 25.
And he's also a World Cup champion. Back when he was, I think, 18 or 19.
Shows you just how crazy competitive archery has gotten over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Bowles, 25.
Who's younger? Bowles, Sapp? There's a lot of young guys up here.
There's a lot of young guys up here. See, did I ask those guys? I know.
Sorrells, 25.
So Caleb Sorrell's in with a 25. Jace Boyles is 18 years old. I think he's the youngest. Jacob Slusarz is 19 years old.
Caleb's been shooting really well lately. He recently switched from Prime to Matthews.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been treating him pretty well.
Yeah, for Caleb, it's actually a
Bowen, 25.
All right, so Richard Bowen in.
He's one of those guys that came here not just to shoot 120 X's. He came here to win.
Redemption from last year.
Yeah, he's been here too many times to let this slip by him. Dan McCarthy's been up here a bunch of times too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He wants it bad.
McCarthy's a full-blown legend, dude.
Yeah.
Hansen, 25.
Stefan Hansen. Stefan Hansen.
Like what?
McCarthy, 25.
So now to Christopher Perkins, out of the Great White North, who's been on a tear as of lately since he made a switch.
Perkins, 25.
Perkins, as we expect, moves on. Now to Shane Wills, who made a switch this year.
To Martin.
I think it's taking Shane just a smidge to get used to a new, just an overall new
Wills,
bow.
25.
But he's really starting to find a groove on the indoor for himself.
A groove on the indoor? Has he ever lost it?
I think
He's been solid for 15 years.
No, there's no doubt. But I think, like Vegas, when he just switched, he was just getting used to that entirely new bow. Came from what, Hoyt to Martin?
Schnurr, 25.
So the Michigan native, Chris Schnurr.
Oh, I didn't realize Carson Sapp missed.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
Well, that is really unusual. He is one of our brightest young talents. Working with George Riles.
Yep.
I mean, he's won junior Neems gold, you know,
Yep.
indoor junior gold back in the day. And
I give a big round of applause to Carson Sapp. He's been eliminated with a 24.
Speaking of really good shooting, Cub male freestyle. Caleb Quicko, 120 X's.
when?
Cub.
This weekend?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
Dude, he outshot you.
Slusarz, 25.
I hated to bring that up.
No, it's fine. I totally
All right, you
agree.
can put your arrows.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Those of you that were eliminated, please take your targets down.
Youth, 20 yards. Rocky Cummins Jr., 120 X's.
Come on, Rocky. You got to be kidding me.
Not kidding you.
Outstanding.
Rocky, 120 X's.
Outstanding. This is a full-blown family event, by the way, NFAA Indoor Nationals. It's a great event for the entire family to come shoot together. Yeah. Could you explain to me how you got all these facts? I mean, you really did your homework before you showed up here to the booth, Aaron Tedford.
No, I just, you know, I love archery. I look at all the scores. I see a lot of these people. Cub, female, freestyle, 119 X's.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you've got to come check it out next year when we're in Louisville, Kentucky, because it is fun for the entire family. Over 1,800 competitors this year. I mean, with it moving to Louisville, I think there's a possibility we could reach well over 2,000. And there's plenty of room. And
Lots of room.
Really well organized.
That place just was, went under construction and was remodeled.
All right, so this is the second official end of scoring, and so we are going to inside-out scoring. This is when really we expect to see some shooters be bounced out. Could even cut this field in half on the first go-around. You can see Jackson was out, Deaton out, and Sapp in the first round.
I would call these arrows, but there's just going to be so many arrows that are touching the line that after this, there's probably only going to be 3 or 4 guys left, max. My brother, his first arrow's touching the line, unfortunately.
Tate Morgan, another one of our shooters that's been on fire lately. Boyle's having a look through the binos just to see what's up.
One thing here you don't want to do is if you miss, you know, basically give up, because if only 2 guys shoot 25, then this, you know, anybody who shot a 24 is going to shoot off for 3rd place.
Good point.
So in years past, this has been one when one guy has shot 5 inside-out X's. I don't think that'll be the case today, but Chris Schaff won that way. Levi Morgan won that way. They were the only ones to shoot 5 inside.
A very educated crowd, obviously, because the majority of people watching this are archers that shot this weekend or family members. And if you had a shot of the crowd and could see how many binoculars are up to eyeballs taking a look at all these targets.
So Chris Perkins has 5 perfect inside-out arrows.
And a sigh of relief after his last shot. Perkins' strategy is he shoots the Spot Hog swap rest. It's a rest you can just unscrew and put it on, so he worked on that. Those small arrows for a while and had everything set up. All he had to do was swap his rest and a couple clicks on his sight, and he was dialed in.
Dan McCarthy needs 1 more for a 25. Oh, he missed it. Now, something interesting here. Stefan Hansen has 5 inside-out X's, but he has an arrow buried, and I don't know how they treat it, but his vein is touching the line.
Interesting.
I wonder what protocol on that is.
Okay. I know in years past we've had a pass-through in this competition.
Okay.
And what they ended up doing was actually pushing the arrow back through.
Right. This isn't a pass-through, but it's almost. His vein is touching the line, and your arrow can't touch the line. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, right. Is the vein part of the arrow?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. So inside-out scoring, this could have the field or more. Let's take a listen to what the judges have to say.
This is pretty gnarly.
That's Dustin Bounce out of Ohio. Bounce shooting a larger diameter arrow than a micro arrow.
Jesse Clayton just texted me. He said he wanted to give these guys a shot, so he didn't come.
23 for Bounce, and I am getting ready to say it because I just have to. It's low-hanging fruit, and Dustin looks like he's going to bounce out.
Marlowe,
Sorry, everyone
25.
back home. 25 for Jacob Marlowe.
Last year's champion, 25.
In terms of arrows, by the way, Marlowe's shooting exactly the same setup, in terms of arrows and everything he had last year, shooting the Victory X, and he did have an option to shoot a stiffer spine. Somebody gave him the same arrow that he norms, so he had a stiffer spine option.
But the top left one's touching. So,
if you're the judge, what is it you're looking for? You can see where it looks like that the paper's pulled in. What are you looking for?
Well, they're just recreating the line, and it's pretty simple. If you're touching the line, you're done.
So recreating the line really in your mind.
If it's shot up, yeah. These judges have called a lot of arrows. They got to be trained in this stuff. So typically they do a pretty good job. And when there's 3 of them, the right call is made every time.
So for the first 2, 23 was Bounce, and then that was the highest score, and obviously it went to Jacob Marlowe. He shot a perfect 25. So in order to stay in this, you have to match that score. If not, you're not completely eliminated.
Martin, 24.
Not yet, anyways. But
yeah.
From what I can tell, there's a couple 25s out there. I know Chris Perkins has one.
So
Tate Morgan has a really close one. But
okay. So anything 3 or more matching 25s, and we are going to set the podium.
Right.
If there was only, say, 2 25s, then we would go down to
Broadwater, 25.
All right, so that's another one for Jesse. So it's Morgan and Broadwater.
So to bring up Stefan's arrow on his vein, Chris Schaff was eliminated from the Lucky Dog because his vein touched the outside of the X. So I'm not really sure if that's gonna, if that same rule applies here. But the Lucky Dog's kind of a totally different thing. But I would think that wouldn't apply here.
Looking at Travis Tracy waiting for his fate.
Tracy, 24.
24.
Yep.
So far we have how many 25s?
2, Morgan and Broadwater.
Morgan and Broadwater.
Familiar names.
You mean Marlow?
Oh, sorry, Marlow. Yeah, not Tate. Marlow.
I think Tate's going to be really close.
Yeah.
To 25. Tate's such a good shot. He's always consistent, always on top. His dad was a really good shot too.
Ooh.
Did they call that right?
He must have had a few touching.
Yeah.
Well.
He might come off the line, and he might be one of those ones to tell you, I should have. Yeah, it's just my guess.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a couple guys, and he might be one of them.
Yeah, that says that you should have stuck with what got me here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan, 24.
So Tate did not get it.
So it's just Marlowe and Broadwater at this point. I don't know. So next up, it's going to be Colton Hamilton.
I'd like to see Colton get it, but I don't think he did. He didn't. Chris Perkins behind Colton Hamilton.
And Hamilton with the high mom wave.
There's a lot when you get this good and you've come up this far and shoot this good, there's a lot of people at home that care about how you shoot and that got you where you are. You know what I mean?
100%.
So there's a lot of family members and friends and stuff watching all these guys just because it's a pretty big deal to be up here.
Hamilton, 24.
So 24. So 24 is so far sitting in a shoot-off for third place, but I know we're going to have another 25 or 2 or 3. But Jesse Broadwater didn't switch.
Nope. 23s the whole way through.
Yeah, and he has a 25.
That's right.
And Jacob Marlowe has a 25.
So if we get one more 25, then we know that we at least have a three-way shot.
Yeah.
Slusarz, 25.
There we go.
25, okay.
All right.
For Jacob. He's shooting big arrows, too.
Yep.
He's really young. I mean, he must be only, 19, 20 years old? Shooting a Darton.
Yeah, he's 19, out of New York.
Good for him.
Out of Voorheesville. And
how do you say that again?
Voorheesville.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. He's been shooting 14 years. This is his first time in a pro shoot-off.
Bowles, 25.
Oh.
So we have 4 25s now. Okay,
So
the
24s are gone.
The podium is, is set. They're looking at Richard Bowen's arrows, which I think are fairly solid. Richard Bowen. I'd like to see him win this.
Yeah, he's such a great guy, isn't he? He's just a nice guy to hang around with, and has just great.
He's kind of a bully on the 3D range, though.
No, he's not.
I know.
Sorrells, 24.
So Caleb's out.
24.
Caleb tried to get some X10s so he could get off of those 27s, and he just couldn't find any in time that worked for him, so he had to stick with the 27s. So.
You know what's interesting about him? He'll come off the line and tell you, I should have switched because if he would have had an X10,
Bowen,
it wouldn't
25.
Yeah.
wouldn't have touched. Oh, Richard, 25. No kidding.
Bowen's still in the mix. Now
So
we're going
there's
to
4 or 5?
Yeah, now we're going to
25s?
Hansen's target, and this is the one you were talking about with the veins
We'll see.
touching. The conversation. Hansen just off to the left, just behind, next to Perkins.
Yeah.
So they're having that conversation as we center your screen.
Hansen, 25.
Was Bowen there? All right. So they're giving him 25.
25.
All right.
Good for him. That's good.
He's a crowd favorite.
Yeah, he's probably the most experienced out of the 25 shooters so far, being a champion before and second place 2 years ago.
Looks like Dan
McCarthy.
McCarthy, 24.
Missed his last arrow. Yep.
So Dan's journey halts here.
Yep.
He'll be back in action next weekend. ASA competition.
Fort Benning.
A lot of these shooters will be.
Second ASA of the year.
Perkins, 25.
Nice. Perkins. So what are we at? 7 shooters?
Yep. Marlow, Broadwater, Slusarz, Boyles, Bowen, Hansen, and Perkins so far are moving on.
Shane Wills.
For sure, we have Shane one out the top.
Christopher Schnurr, for sure, has missed a few.
These scores still are important in terms of how they're going to rank.
Yeah, this places you after you're out, you know. So anybody with a 24 is going to tie, but if you shoot a 22, you know, so far Paul is in 21st place.
Yeah, right.
With the 22. Well, I shouldn't say that because there was guys who missed the...
Who bounced out.
Yeah,
So that would make him, I think there were, what did I say? There were three shooters that bounced out.
Yeah.
So then Paul would come after that.
Yeah.
So 17th place, possibly? 18th place. So you see, let's see. These are your remaining archers.
Wills, 23.
Shane
All right, so
Wills.
Shane. So you bounce at 23, Marlowe at 25, Martin 24, Broadwater's in, Tracy's out, Tedford out, Morgan out, Hamilton out, Slusarz in, Boyles in, Caleb Sorrells is out, Bowen, Hansen in, McCarthy out, Perkins in, Wills out.
2 archers left. Christopher Schnurr definitely missed, and Mikey Slusarz, I'm not sure. He's got 4 really good ones.
Schnurr, 20.
All right, so a 24, Chris Schnurr.
So he's the lowest score so far.
Still, I have a feeling we're going to see more of him as the future rolls on.
Mikey's got a really close one, that bottom right target, but they're not looking at it very close, so it must be in.
And Slusarz, 24.
No, 24, never mind.
24,
Wow.
he's gone.
Okay.
So
Here we
probably
go.
one of the favorites.
Give a big round of applause to everybody that did not shoot a 25. They've all been eliminated. Those of you that were eliminated,
So
please
Jesse,
pull your arrows
is
and
he
your
the favorite here?
targets. Those of you that are still
Never
in,
won it before.
just pull your arrows.
No. Yes. I mean, you got to look at
You give the
Marlowe's
guy,
won
you
it.
give the guy enough chances, he's gonna pull it off eventually.
Marlowe's won it. Bowen has finished second. Hansen's won it.
Yep. Perkins has never won it.
Perkins, Boyles, Slusarz. Wow. This is just a clash of the Titans, isn't it?
Yeah. Jacob Marlowe hanging on to his title for dear life. He's still got it.
Jesse Broadwater trying to snatch victory out of the grasp of Jacob Marlowe and the rest. Perkins has been on an absolute tear as of late. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there is a favorite at this point.
Richard Bowen took 4th place in Vegas. He's like the gatekeeper. He is so close. So close so many times, so I know how bad he wants this right now.
Bowen the bridesmaid? That close? Never the bride?
Yeah, probably.
If you're joining us at the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals here at the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, we started with 21 archers just a couple ends ago, and now it's boiled down to 7 for the national championship in the professional male category. $10,000 on the line for the winner, $5,000 for second, $3,000 for third, plus a bunch of contingency money, and of course, new targets being handed out by one of the nicest guys in the field, Jesse Broadwater. I would have had him sign it before I would have got that. So we're going to move archers towards the middle of our shooting lanes. So we'll reset the order. So now
This is a long process, but it's you know, pretty necessary. These guys have a lot on the line. Fresh targets are always important in something like this.
Inside out scoring Continues. If your arrow touches that X ring at all, the ring, not the X, just the ring, you're going to get a lower point value. The highest point scored in this next end will continue on if it's matched, or it will win the national title.
Yep. Marlowe has his pins in the scoring rings. I'm surprised the judge didn't stop that. That's against protocol.
Is it? Yeah, I would think so.
And he has his pins in the 4 ring.
All right, we've gone from 21 to 18 to 7. Give these guys a big round of applause.
That 7 is the biggest number moving forward after the first ends
This will be your
of inside out.
third scoring end.
Yeah, usually
Once again,
it's like
X
3
counts
or
as
4,
5,
isn't it?
scored
Yeah.
inside out. Good luck.
2 elites, 3 Matthews, 1 PSE, and 1 Darton. Jacob's solid, Jesse's solid, Slusarz perfect, Richard Bowen's perfect, Stefan's perfect, Boyles is perfect, and Perkins. None of them missed their first arrow. Marlowe got his second arrow.
Oh, Perkins. Take a look at Perkins.
Yeah, it's close. It's definitely touching the line. Jesse's good on his second arrow. Jacob Slusarz is good on his second arrow. Stefan Hansen is solid. He's got 2 inside out. Richard Bowen's got 2 inside out. Jacob Marlowe's got 3 inside out. He's in the lead of, he's shooting really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan Hansen has 3 inside. Jesse has 3 inside.
Has Broadwater got the biggest arrows out there right now?
I think that Jacob Slusarz is shooting a bigger
Okay.
arrow.
Slusarz.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jacob.
Jacob Marlowe has 4 perfect inside-out arrows.
Yeah, so Slusarz is running the 23, so same diameter.
Jesse has 4 inside-out. Jacob shoots 5. Jacob shoots a 25. The other Jacob has 1 arrow to go for a 25.
Broadwater taking his time as usual.
Ooh, missed it.
Ooh.
It's touching the line, so he shoots a 24. Stefan Hansen shoots a 25. So Broadwater is going another year, and Jacob gets it.
He did.
He shoots a 25. That's really good. And Richard Bowen shoots a 25.
Boyles looks like he's in too. Look at Boyles' target.
Yeah, it's really good. This is really stiff. This is crazy.
Wow, if you thought Broadwater was the favorite, that last arrow, and you can see just the body language of Jesse Broadwater as he meanders his way down to the target. Could it be another year of disappointment for the freak show?
Jacob's thinking, I won last time, this end. And he's like, there's at least 3 of them that are still good.
Unbelievable. Marlowe in with the 25.
Yep.
Highest score at the moment. Well, the highest score possible.
Yeah.
So now who ties? And for you Jesse Broadwater fans, you are not going to like what's coming. Official 24 for Jesse Broadwater. Hands in the air, shake of the head. Might be questioning his decision to stick with those 23s.
Yeah. With everything he's accomplished, though, it doesn't really change anything about, who he is or.
And he still has plenty of years at the top. Slusarz 25. So Jacob moves on Rumor has it he is one of the most talented distance judgers and could be the next, dare I say it, Levi Morgan.
Yeah, Braden Galantine has told me several times that's the next Levi Morgan.
Me too.
Levi's won this tournament too.
Yeah, sure has. But when he gets outdoor for ASA.
The goal is 25. So far we have a Matthews shooter, an elite shooter, and a Darton shooter throwing up some really high scores.
So Jace Boyles crushing it. Stefan.
Richard.
Oh, Richard, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, Richard's next.
25,
Okay.
nice, wow. Like I said, he's here to fight.
So that would also eliminate Broadwater's possibility of a podium finish.
Right. You can see Christopher Perkins' arrow right there. It's definitely touching the line. Stefan Hansen's 25, I think, from what we can see from here.
Hansen, 25.
Wow.
He's still in. So the possibility of a multi-time winner still exists with Marlowe and Stefan Hansen. That top arrow for Perkins.
Yep. You can clearly see it right there.
Yeah.
Just touching the line. A big, small arrow, it doesn't matter. That's the middle of the shaft. He would have, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And Perkins, 23.
Oh, 23.
Yeah,
He
I
had
think
two
the
of them
bottom
touching?
left. I think the bottom
Oh.
left was out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for those guys. They had a really good run. Perkins, Broadwater.
Yeah, you can put your arrows. Give a big round of applause to
So now we're down to 5.
Jesse Broadwater and Chris Perkins, who have been eliminated.
So it's going to be Jacob Marlowe, Jacob Slusarz, Jace Boyles, Richard Bowen, and Stefan Hansen. So we got Florida, New York, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Denmark going at it. It's the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals from the Duke Energy Convention Center as we continue to whittle down archers vying for national championship and $10,000 in the professional male category, the premier class for this tournament.
We'll be doing the awards right here for the 3 divisions that shot off tonight. So stick around, we'll do those awards, and then we'll do the rest of the 3 o'clock awards up in the awards room 234. All right, boys. God, I can say boys. Here we go. This is it. Inside out again. X counts as 5. Good luck.
I love that Bruce just said, this is it. Putting a little pressure, a little extra pressure on him. I love Jacob Marlowe. He's going right after the target. He was the first one to get the full draw.
Yeah, he's such a fast shooter. Stefan solid, Richard solid. Jacob perfect. The other Jacob's perfect.
Boyles
and
perfect.
Boyles is perfect. So nobody's missed yet. We might be here a while.
We might.
Richard with another 5. So he's good. Ooh, Jacob's touching the line. So Jacob shoots a 4 there. Stefan Hansen has another good one. Jace Boyles.
Slusarz,
Good.
you see his? Yeah. Slusarz shooting that
I
Darton.
can't see it right now.
Slusarz shooting that Darton
Yep,
Tempest.
he's good. He's got 2 of them in there.
The Tempest target, and again with the 23s.
So Richard has 3 of them in there, and so does Stefan Hansen. Jace Boyles, 3 of them in there. Man. So far, I think Marlowe is the only one who's missed, and he's missed the big X. He's missed twice now.
So no repeat for him.
And then Jacob Slusarz.
I'll be able to say it for many years to come. Slusarz.
Yep. Stefan Hansen has 4 good arrows, and Richard shoots a 25. Stefan Hansen.
We're waiting for it. Last arrow in. Longer.
These guys texting his parents first.
Maybe.
Okay.
Fun time in Cincinnati. Unfortunately,
National champion.
he'll be competing next week as well. Oh yeah, that one being this close, but as next week.
And one of the best 3D
Slusarz, 24.
24 like that. I mean, typically shooting one.
Calm, cool, and collected.
This is his first time, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The 18-year-old out of Kentucky. Shooting those Black Eagle Rampages. Did they work for him?
Bowles, 25.
And there you go, the highest score on the line at the moment. Jace Boyles. Still in it.
Bowen, 25.
All right, so there's
Richard
another
Bowen.
one. So we move on with at least these two shooters going at it.
Look at Richard.
Chilling.
He's just chilling. He knows it's not over. He's not all smiling. He doesn't. He's just
there's
here.
a little something. something.
He's here to. He's he's here to kill, though.
He's
here to
trying.
win.
And Hansen, 25.
So our podium is set.
Give a big round of applause to Jacob Slusarz and Lonnie Marlowe, who have been eliminated.
Those three archers are going to be our podium. Now we have to decide in which order.
Yep.
So we have a past champ, a past podium finisher, and a newbie. Can you ask for anything more at the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals? I don't think so.
Nope. Bowles is 18.
18.
Yep. Stefan's, I think, 23, 24. Richard's 48, 49. I'm just playing.
He's a grown man with a grown man job.
First, second, and third right here. Inside out, X as a 5. Good luck.
So Richard Bowen, the wildlife biologist with a full job. Stefan Hansen, your full-time archer. And Jace Boyles, a freshman in college.
Stefan's first arrow is perfect. So is Richard's. Jace with a solid 5. Richard and Stefan second arrows are perfect. So far no one's missed. Jace with a good one, so everybody's still clean. 3 arrows to go.
From our vantage point too, I could see Jace grabbed his binos for a second.
It's close, but it's definitely inside.
Richard taking his time on that one.
Perfect. 15 so far. 3 5s. Man, Stefan just shoots a good one. So far, no one's missed. I can't see.
Jace looks like his third one is in the middle.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Richard with 4 good ones. Boy, this is crazy. Really good shooting going on here.
Why the eye patch or the thing on his?
Just to help with glare, lighting.
Oh, he drilled that one.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Richard Bowen shoots a 25. Wow, first one off the line too.
Mm-hmm. Confidently.
Stefan Hansen needs 1 more to tie Richard. Has a 20 so far. Jacob needs what? 1 more arrow? Yep, 25 for Jacob.
Boyles
sorry.
just drilled it. And
Jace.
Jace.
Yeah, sorry.
Jace just drilled that one. So his target, Jace's target looks clean from where you're sitting?
Yeah. Stefan with a ton of time. Needs this to move on.
105 seconds on the clock.
Yep, gets it. Ooh. 25, 25, 25. That's incredible. That's crazy.
You saw the look on Jace's face.
Yeah, Jace Bowles, Richard Bowen, Stefan Hansen. All shooting the small arrows. They all three made the switch. Here come the judges to make it official.
Jace Boyles, his first big tournament, Lancaster 2018.
Oh, all right.
So he's really only been shooting big tournaments for just over a year. And he is absolutely handling any pressure if he's feeling
Bowles, 25.
it. Like a pro, 25, official score in, high score at the moment.
He's making it look easy.
Mm-hmm. The pride of Albany, Kentucky.
5.
Nice. There's Richard again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So the prize here is $10,000, but often the contingency is sometimes bigger than the prize. I mean, so these guys are fighting for.
Yeah, because as you see on their shooter shirts, a lot of these athletes have secondary sponsors that would also pay them contingency money for being on the podium, or especially for the national championship.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's part of it, no question, especially for a shooter like Stefan Hansen, who is a full-time shooter. That's what he does for a living. But I'm sure Jace Boyles would love that prize money too. It'd go a long way as a freshman in college, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I can tell you one thing for sure. Richard Bowen is not thinking about the money.
No.
Could care less about the money. He wants to be a national champion. As does Stefan and Jace, but Richard, I know, he's been here. He's been too close too many times.
Bowen's micro arrow of choice is the gold tip Pierce. And he's shooting the same bow that he came here with, shooting obviously larger diameter arrows to get him here. And he worked on shooting for 2 weeks, did Richard Bowen. So what he would do, Aaron Tedford, is he would shoot a round with his, he'd shoot one of these rounds, 60 arrows, with his larger diameter arrows, change to the thinner blade, couple of clicks here, couple of clicks there, and then shoot with those gold tip Pierce arrows.
So he came here that confident.
That confident.
Yeah, so he came here to shoot the entire tournament, not just shoot 120 and then be happy with it.
Exactly.
He came here to finish. So let's see if I can call some arrows from here again. Stefan Hansen with a perfect 5. Richard 5. Jace perfect 5. All three of them perfect 5 so far. Richard with a 5. Jace dead center. You couldn't place that arrow in there any. Richard's touching the line, so he shoots a 4. And Jace shoots a 4. Stefan. So Jace shoots a 4.
Or
Richard shoots a 4.
Or Hansen, if he shoots a 4, and then everyone else cleans it.
Yep. Richard shoots a 5 there.
Okay. Hansen?
3-5 so far. He's dead. Just dead center.
You can see Hansen just taking a moment, taking a breath, plenty of time on the clock. 141
Jace
seconds.
shoots another 5. So far, he's on pace for a 24. So is Richard. Stefan Hansen on pace for a 25. Richard shoots a 24. Stefan shoots another 5. So one more arrow from being champion. Stefan needs a 5 to be your 2019
and Jace
NFAA indoor champion.
And Jace needs to be clean.
Jace shoots a 24.
Okay,
so Richard and Jace shoot a 24. Stefan needs this arrow.
He is absolutely just chilling. He knows what's at stake with this arrow.
Yeah, he knows that he needs this to win.
The crowd knows as well. Here goes Hansen.
1-5 away from winning. And he gets it.
And the crowd erupts as Stefan Hansen clearly daylight between that line and the air. We're gonna have to
What
wait
a crazy shoot-off.
Crazy shoot-off.
We're gonna go another end for second. Richard and Jace are gonna shoot off here for second.
Yeah, we still have more archery to come. We're gonna wait for obviously the official scores as Hansen.
Stefan Hansen.
Checking his bank account.
money. And again, too, this was not about the money for him.
No, it's not.
He's just such a competitive.
He wanted to be back on top again. A repeat of his 2016 title. 24 for Jace Boyles.
What a run he had.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Jace, it's not over, my friend.
Nope.
I don't think so, unless Richard had one touching as a 23. I don't think.
Bowen, 24.
At 24, so a shoot-off for second place will happen.
Stefan told me once his biggest fear is like walking down and everybody's watching and like tripping and falling.
Yeah, I'm sure, just as a runway model as well.
Yep. Stefan, stay on your feet, buddy. You're the champ.
All right, everybody needs to stay calm, stay in your seats. We still have another shoot-off, but your national champion, Stefan Hansen.
Congratulations to Hansen.
Are you surprised?
No.
No, me neither.
I mean, really, you could any 21 of the. I mean, there would have been a few rookie surprises, no doubt.
Right.
But when it comes to it, ice in the veins.
He's one of the best shooters in the world right now. And look at his target right there. No question.
Nope.
No question. Nothing even close. Shoots a 25 to end it.
And if you go check his Instagram, I would imagine that that's going to be up in a few moments.
Here's his last shot. Bam. No question.
Richard's still looking downrange.
Yeah.
Jace doing it. Yeah.
All right, these gentlemen are shooting for second and third. Same thing. X counts as 5, scored inside out. Good luck.
I don't know this for sure, but this has to be the longest NFAA shoot-off for the male pro division by far.
I don't think that stat has ever been kept, but
yeah, but
there's no doubt.
Richard shoots a solid 5 his first arrow. Jace solid 5. Perfect. That one's touching the line.
Mm-hmm.
So Jace can clean out here. He's looking at second place.
Yeah, you can see Richard just shaking his head on that one.
Wow, Jace just put a perfect arrow. You couldn't place that arrow any better. Look at those 3 arrows of Jace.
To be the steady hold at 18.
Richard with a good follow-up shot. Shoots a 5. Jace with another 5.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jace shoots a 5 here, he's looking at second place. Richard finishes up with a 5.
The final arrow could determine second place, or we go to another end of competition.
Perfect, no question.
All right, so Jace Boyles at 18 years old will finish second in this tournament. Outstanding shooting from the Kentucky native. the freshman in college, shooting that Elite Victory X.
Richard with 3rd place. That's really solid. I mean, you can't complain about a podium finish in a national championship tournament.
Mm-hmm. $25 for Jace.
You think we'll see Jace at more of these indoor tournaments?
I have a feeling. Of course, being a freshman, he's also got a lot of stuff he's got to start doing.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, boys.
There it is.
Ah, the disappointment on Bowen.
Oh, he looks really bummed.
Yeah,
I know that's not what he came here for, but
no,
I mean,
worked hard for it.
yeah.
I need Stefan Hansen.
That's the way the arrow flies.
The national champion up here.
Here's an interview with Stefan Hansen, the champ.
Come on up, Stefan. Everybody get ready. We're going to give these awards here within just a couple minutes. All right, I'm standing here with Stefan Hansen. I do happen to know Stefan has won this one other time. What did this one feel like?
Came here, it was the first time, and it was easier because I didn't have many expectations. This year, I kind of knew I could do it, but I still have to do it, so it's tough, but it's awesome.
And there's a
Long round, it's a lot of arrows, but it's fun every year. I enjoy being here, I enjoy coming here, and it's really nice.
awesome. Congratulations once again. Good shooting.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be doing the awards here in just a few minutes. We will have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to the divisions that we just shot off. And the remaining awards will be done in room 234 in just a few minutes. Also, for spectators, we're going to do a group picture here of everybody that was in the shoot-off. So just hang on, and we're going to have a good picture of everybody.
More from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Patented tri-spine technology controls aero flight, delivering better downrange energy and accuracy, all in a small diameter shaft. Think you're an Express.
The 2019 senior. All right, we're ready to do the awards. In the freestyle professional female division, in 3rd place, Tanya Jensen. 2nd place, Cara Kelly, and the national champion, Paige Pierce. Please give them a big round of applause.
Page.
So podium celebrations
All
getting
right,
underway.
once again, big round of applause. Pro female freestyle.
As Paige Pierce takes her place at the top of the podium with a multitude of checks, giving us an idea of what was at stake for her to win this national title, as well as Cara Kelly and Tanya Jensen.
The beautiful silver bowl for winning nationals. The most important trophy up there. I know she cares a lot more about that championship than the checks. But this is how she makes her living too, so.
I mentioned earlier, Paige just getting back to school.
All right, girls.
Frantic in getting that
you can
going.
Step down. Remember, don't leave. We're doing a group picture at the end. Yeah, stand over on the side will be fine. Okay. Freestyle Pro Senior Male. Third place, Benton Christensen. Second place, Kendall Woody. And your national champion, Keith Trail.
Champion.
For a second, I didn't see the decimal place or the comma. I was like, did he just win 50 grand for this one from Martin? That was a payday. Still a great job by Keith Trail.
Yep.
He's a very nice guy and very intense as well.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that Keith Trail likes more than winning. What a hard-fought battle we saw in this class earlier on in the broadcast, as 4 archers were all tied up with 119 out of 120 X's shot to get them to this final, and Keith Trail mopped up in one end.
Yep.
2 Martins and a prime in the pro senior class, which I'm eligible to shoot in a couple weeks. Thinking about it. Shot.
You're gonna mop these guys up, Greg?
No.
No.
I did shoot a high enough score to qualify to become a professional senior male.
All right, I know
There's
it's hard for
Peyton
you guys to stand up
Christensen.
there too much longer, so give him a big round of applause again. Senior Pro Freestyle. All right, the Pro Freestyle Male. Third place, Richard Bowen. Second place, Jace Bowles. And your national champion, Stefan Hansen.
U.S. Indoor Nationals is going back to Denmark.
Yeah. Well, Richard's got a smile on his face now, but we know he's hurting on the inside.
Yeah. He sure didn't earlier.
Future looks bright for that freshman. What a way to handle the pressure.
Is Richard still taller than Stefan?
Might be. You know, it was interesting when I had a chance to talk to Jace Boyles before this all started, and I asked him about pressure. He said he really doesn't feel the pressure. You know,
Come on.
No, it's what he said. You know, and so he didn't know what to expect when he got here. So obviously he's got some type of a system that he's working within himself that he manages any nerves or any pressure. And you know, when we saw these
All right,
last
once again, congratulations. Now,
Jace, teach
everybody
me.
that was in
Yeah.
the shoot-off, the men, the seniors, and the women, head down this way to target butt 106. Once again, everybody that was in the shoot-off. Once again, senior pro, female, and male.
So now the podium celebrations are over. They're getting ready for their picture, but it's time for us to roll out. Aaron Tedford, let's go ahead and sum up the day here. What did you see, and what do you think about the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals?
Lots and lots of good shooters, crazy scores, long shoot-offs. Surprises in the senior division, how quick that went. Surprise in the female division, how quick that went. I mean, crazy year. You can never guess what's going to happen, but we have Stefan Hansen, Paige Pierce, Keith Trail. They're your champs.
Well, make sure you come on out and shoot with us next year because we're going to Louisville, Kentucky. And you can come here and watch all this great action live. Thanks so much for joining us at the 2019 NFAA Indoor Nationals from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Signing off for Aaron Tedford, I'm Greg White. We'll see you next time.
To be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the mavericks, the fearless. We forge our own path. We're not chasing anyone, but we know what they're running from. It's an obsession.
Once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I've learned in my career I'm only as good as the tools I use.
12 for Levi Morgan.
One chance, one moment, one shot.
Maxima Red SD, taking big game hunting to an all-new level, making other competitors' single-spine arrows obsolete. Patented tri-spine technology controls arrow flight, delivering better downrange energy and accuracy, all in a small diameter shaft. Think you're shooting the best hunting arrow in the game? Think again. Stay in the red zone. Assume nothing and shoot Carbon Express.
Competition Archery Media's live coverage of the 2019 NFAA Indoor National Championship is brought to you by Hoyt, by Vortex, and by Elite Archery.